Our first reading comes from the book of the prophet Daniel. The young Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego have been thrown into the fire. And Azariah stands up and he prays aloud. Now, mind you, King Nebuchadnezzar asked them if they would worship his God. And they said no. He said, well, if you're not going to worship my God, I'm going to throw you in this fire that we just built. And do you think your God is going to save you? And they say, whether our God chooses to save us or not, that's not our business. Our business is to be faithful to the Lord. And so in this great act of faith, they get thrown into the fire. And from within the fire, Azariah, Daniel, he stands up and says, for your name's sake, O Lord, do not deliver us up forever or make void your covenant. Interesting, he's not saying save us from the fire. He's praying now for God's people. Not just that little group. Because what does he say here? Do not deliver us up forever or make void your covenant. This is the whole people. Do not take away your mercy from us for the sake of Abraham, your beloved, Isaac, your servant, and Israel, the Holy One, to whom you promised to multiply their offspring like the stars of heaven or the sands of the sea. You would think that since they have just made this great profession of faith, that they would say, hey, God, save us. We've been so good. We've been so faithful. That's not what they say. They contend that they have not always been right, that they are not the best people in the world. But he says, for we are reduced, O Lord, beyond any other nation, brought low everywhere in the world today because of our sins. So they don't ask the Lord to hear their prayer because they've been so good and faithful. They pray for the entire people who have sinned. But with contrite heart and humble spirits, let us be received, as though it were burnt offerings of rams and bullocks, or thousands of fatted lambs. So let our sacrifice be in your presence today, as we follow you unreservedly. They're not asking to be rescued. They're asking that their death be accepted as a sacrifice. So they come with humble heart and contrite spirit, not asking for earthly rescue, but heavenly rescue. They ask that their sacrifice, which from our perspective after Jesus Christ, we ask not that we be saved from all the problems in the world, but we do ask that our suffering might be united with that of Jesus Christ.